have more in common with each other than some of us think we do.
Look, what we're doing here, what we want to do is get everybody talking, get to understand each other a little bit.
So everywhere there is Jew written in the New Testament should be either Judea, Judaeus, Judean, or something similar.
Right. And so the Jews have performed the same trick here in the New Testament that they performed in the Old Testament by substituting the word Jew for Judean. Okay? And once you understand that there are two primary different types of Judeans living during the time of Christ in New Testament times, what you have is the original Judeans who were who? The Judahites. Okay? And then you have the interlopers, the false Judahites, who claim to be Judah but are not and do lie, Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Those interlopers, those deceivers, have been pretending to be Judah ever since.
So we're going to have open dialogue. It's a free forum. You can say whatever you want, no holds barred. Just ask any question you want and get to know each other. Okay? So if you want to ask these guys a question, go ahead. One of y'all want to ask one of these acidic gentlemen a question?
Open it up.
Nothing's too private to ask. Just kick it out.
Hi. Why y'all be wearing those beanies? Oh, serious issue, man. Good one.
They're called yarmulkes.
Why do you wear them?
To honor Hashem.
Oh.
The name. What you'd call a god?
And so since they identify themselves as Jews, they have been trying to rewrite history by pretending to be the Judahites of the Old Testament and the Judeans of the New Testament. Okay, so but the fact is that the Jews, the people we know today as Jews, are not descended from the house of Judah at all. They are descended from the interlopers who John Hyrcanus, on threat of pain of death, forcibly made them citizens of Judah, of the land of Judah, and now it's properly called Judea, which is a country having more than one ethnicity residing in it, okay?
What about those string things hanging out your clothes?
They're called tzitzis.
What about those string things hanging out your clothes?
They're called tzitzis.
Scratch that, I got a Metreon with an arsenal in my backpack, so you can catch a KJV flexing standing next to me. Cause once I put the word to your head, you can really rest in peace. I'm in all white from head to toe, fringes everywhere that I go. I got my borders on, they looking but they don't even know.
It says in the Torah.
Hey, that is our holy book. Go ahead.
The four knots remind you that God is in all directions, everywhere.
Why do you guys wear your hair like that?
Like what? This?
Dreads. We grow it. We don't wear it like this.
And what, you grow it like that with mud?
Mud?
What? Some people wear it just for the look. But the Rastafarians in Jamaica started to grow their hair like this as a sign of pride. We are proud of the texture of our hair. And furthermore, it says it in the Bible. In Leviticus, Jah said, "Thou shalt not cut off thy hair off thy head."
You read Torah?
So what? Hear me, man. We, my people that is, are the original last tribe.
So the Jews are that ethnicity which was incorporated by John Hyrcanus. They are not Judah by any means. They are in fact outsiders. They are strangers, aliens, who have assumed the citizenship of Judea, which does not make them the Judah of the Old Testament.
If I were to tell you that blacks once had a great culture which exceeded the culture of whites, you'd probably find that pretty incredible. But we're talking about the ignored truths of history. Those of you who've been watching this show may perhaps recall that several weeks ago we talked about the fact that most of the Jews alive in the world today may actually be descendants of Russian converts. Now, Jews like to consider themselves to be descendants of Israel. So the facts that Russia was once a Jewish nation for 500 years, in fact, and that most Jews who are alive today may be more closely descended from Attila the Hun than from King Solomon, These are facts which are just glaring facts, and it's incredible that such things could be ignored. And the question of how such things could be ignored has an answer, and the answer is collusion. All the parties involved have silently agreed, even perhaps without ever talking to each other, they've silently agreed to just not discuss this subject.
And I thought I'd go and have a look at Jewish literature to see what they say about their origins. And here we see 3 quotes. And the first is in the 1925 Jewish Encyclopedia, which says that Esau, Edom, is modern Jewry. And of course this is contrary to what most people believe today, which is that the Jews are God's chosen people because they are the Israelites. But here the Jewish literature is saying that they are actually from the tribe of Edom, not the tribe of Israel. And in the Jewish Almanac in 1980 it says, strictly speaking, it is incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew or to call a contemporary Jew an Israelite or Hebrew. And that's because, truthfully speaking, they are not the Hebrews or Israelites, they are really the Edomites. And also we see here in the Encyclopedia Judaica that Edomite Jews began to call themselves Hebrews and Israelites in 1860. And so this is a relatively new idea that the Jews are God's chosen people and that they are the Israelites. And so let's have a look now at the first word of Jew that's appearing in the Old Testament. And to do that I thought we're going to have a look at the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance of the Christian Bible. And so we see here the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance of the Bible, and if we look up the word Jew, we see here that the word actually begins in the book of Ezra in the Old Testament, and the reference there is 3064. And so here in the Hebrew and Chaldee Dictionary of the Old Testament, when we look at 3064, we see it means Jehudi, or someone from Judah. In other words, a geographical word. And if we go back and have a look at the New Testament reference, we see the New Testament reference there is 2453. And so if we go and have a look at the word Jew in the New Testament, it's been translated from the word Iudaeos, which is where the word Jew comes from. The words IOU today are JEW. It actually means someone belonging to Judea, or someone from the physical geographical location of Judea. And so the word Jew is derived from a geographical term referring to the land of Judea. And remember that the Judeans were only one of the 12 tribes of Israel.
So how come you guys wear all black?
So we don't shoot each other over sneakers and jackets like you did.
Oh, wow. You think that's funny, right?
It's true, isn't it? It's true.
Wait. Let's see. Can we just see if we can hold off making accusations about each other, okay?
And so wouldn't that be the correct analysis of what the modern Jews today are?
Absolutely. And you know, it's a marvel of the wonders and the power of the Jewish propaganda machine that the average person in the street generally considers the Jew to be the purest of all races. Absolutely incredible.
And this is the main reason for why they have all these genetic diseases, and why they have, physical deformities to a greater extent than other people do. I don't want to use the word race because they're not a race; they're a breed. Jesus refers to them as a brood, a brood of vipers who can do no good.
Listen, man, I want to talk about how y'all get special treatment. That's what I want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? I get hassled all the time because I'm black.
Yeah, that's because the cops know that we don't commit the crimes. We're not breaking into homes. We're not stealing car radios. Like,
neither do I. What, because I'm black, I'm a criminal?
Listen, we get hassled by the cops, too. I got attacked, and they acted like I was the criminal.
What do you know about that, white boy? You ever been pulled off the streets and beaten by cops? Welcome to our neighborhood.
Right.
Hey, yo, the real issue here is that some Jew let a little black boy die because they don't think of us as humans.
And so what we're talking about is a group of people who are engaged in a charade, a gigantic charade, pretending to be somebody they're not. And once we understand that this charade is going on, this great impersonation of Judah and Israel by an alien people, then you begin to understand the difference why Jesus hated those scribes and Pharisees so much. Okay, and so let's talk a little bit about the Jewish religion compared to the religion of Moses. There's actually no similarities between the two religions at all. So the second question was Jesus a Jew by religion? Let's turn to Matthew chapter 15, verse 1. Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem. Okay, now this is about another confrontation between Jesus and the scribes and Pharisees, saying, "Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders?" Okay, they're asking Jesus, why are the apostles and the people following Jesus around, why aren't they following the traditions of the elders? They're not asking, why aren't they following the law of Moses? They're asking, why do they transgress the traditions of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? Okay, so he's directly contradicting what they have to say. He says, he's telling them that they're transgressing the commandments of God by their tradition. Verse 4, for God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father and mother, let him die the death. Now it's interesting that since the Jewish people can be of any race whatsoever, it doesn't matter who the father is, okay? So they don't have to honor their father, and even their honoring of their mother is simply tokenism, because the mother can be any race as well. Verse 5, but ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me. And of course, we Israelites are told to hearken back to our father and mother, Abraham and Sarah. And of course, the Jews never talk about Abraham and Sarah. They will claim Abraham as their father, but only because Abraham was also the grandfather of Esau, who was the original race trader. Okay, verse 6. And honor not his father or his mother when he shall be free. Thus have ye made a commandment of God, the commandment of God, by none effect, by your tradition. So what he's telling these scribes and Pharisees is that they have made the law of God of none effect because they have substituted their own traditions in place of the law of Moses, okay? And so the common understanding that Judaism is based on the law of Moses is directly contradicted here by Jesus Christ himself. So we have two possibilities that Jesus was a Jew, number one by race and number two by religion, and we can prove conclusively that Jesus is not a Jew in either sense.